Corinne Michaels, welcome to book club.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Like I was one of your like earliest stands regarding your podcast. So like this is a full circle moment for me.
I know, well, I'm fangirling myself. When you DM'd me on release day, you're like listening to the episode, I was like, oh, perfect, so I can die now. That's great. Um, Day is made, life is made, everything's beautiful.
I love it.
Could not be more excited to have you on. I like to start every episode by asking about your villain origin story. I feel like most writers started off as readers. So,
Yeah.
what got you into reading the romance genre, and then what got you to write the romance genre?
So reading, yes, I have been reading romance since I can literally remember. I was 13 years old and I would sneak my grandmother's Danielle Steele books and hide underneath the covers and read until like 2 in the morning with a flashlight. Like I literally was that story. My grandma lived at the beach and my mom was a single mom, so we would have to go spend the summers with my grandma. And so my sister was always like making friends, and I was just reading books on the beach and like hiding with them. So the other part of it is my maternal grandmother and my paternal grandmother were best friends, and they both worked at the library. My one grandma was a librarian, and the other one worked in the library at the front desk. So I grew up literally in the library. Like I grew up going and spending like days and days and days just like back in the children's section, like devouring books. So yeah, I've always been a reader. And um I definitely like I think that most readers have like seasons, right? Like there was a period of time where probably I wasn't reading at the volume that I've read at other times. And then I became like a crazy twihard and and then I got into 50 Shades of Grey and then yeah, and then that kind of like naturally progressed into like you should write a book. And I did.
I love that. That's incredible.
Yeah, so I feel like my journey has been like since I was a baby. I was reading books and I've always loved it. And I actually wrote my first book when I was like 13. I found it on like, you probably won't know what this is, but a floppy disk. I had like a floppy disk that had the story of me and the boy that I must have been in love with at the time. And how we met and how we became. And it was like this whole fictional story between a girl named Abigail and it's like now that's my sourdough starter's name. So there you go. My original heroine. But yeah, I've always written, I've always loved to write. I used to write more short stories than like obviously I didn't write novels until I wrote my first book.
That's incredible. Did you always want to be an author, or was there
No.
another dream job? Okay.
No, I wanted to rule the world. Like I had I was kind of like very I wanted to be president, I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I realized I'd have to do math and I didn't want to do that. And then you know what I mean? Like I had big dreams of always wanting to do something like kind of grand, I think. Um but yeah, I don't remember like a time where I was like, I want to be a writer. You know what I mean? Like I just always was a writer. So I don't really feel like it was ever a dream. It was just what I did anyway.
That's that's so fascinating, but also like it was in your bones the whole time. And you are kind of taking over the world.
I mean,
One book at
sure,
a
we can
time.
one book at a time.
Yes, that's incredible. And how many books do you have published?
I don't know. I think it's got to be like 40 something. There's got to be 40, I think. I stopped counting at some point. I don't know why, but I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, well, I have like 40s. I don't even know how many books I have. And I probably should have counted at that point, but no, I don't know. It's definitely over 40, but I'm also ahead. So it's really hard for me because like in my head, I'm like, oh, I've written more books than are out. So I don't know how many I'm at.
Yeah, it's like at a certain point. Yes, someone in the comments will know the exact number and page count and all the things, and we love them for it.
I hope they're there for it.
They will be. We know they will. Hello to the person in the comments who's going to be doing that. They're typing now. So, out of those 40 something, is there a book that stands out in your mind as the easiest and the hardest to write?
probably. I feel like I have one in every series. That's the easiest and the hardest to write. If I were to say like what was the easiest book I ever wrote, I don't know easy actually. I will say they all have their challenges. I probably would say like one of my easiest books to write was my first book because I didn't have expectations and I didn't have any like pressure on me. I just wrote what I wanted to write. I mean, I didn't really know how to write well. I will admit that. Like I really didn't understand when to start new lines, and because when I wrote previously, I just wrote for myself. I never ever had to follow any rules. I just wrote stories. If it was one giant run-on sentence, I could have cared less. Nobody was reading it. But then when you're gonna write for people to read, you have to know how to actually physically write the book. So I will say that that was probably my hardest part about the first book, but I just got to write whatever the hell I wanted to write. I didn't care what readers expected. I didn't care what people were going to complain about. And not that I didn't care in the grand scheme, but like as I was writing, I just got to write.
Right. There's just no expectation on it.
Yeah, hardest to write, I still think is going to be Say I'm Yours. It's going to be in that series. That was a really tough one. That was the first, I don't want to say the very first time I felt like immense pressure, but like Say You'll Stay had been like blow the doors off of anything I'd ever experienced before with books. And, and then Say You Want Me was just as explosive as that book was. So then I went to write the third book and I was like, like I don't know what to do. Yeah, it was like soul crushing pressure. Um so I still think that that was one of my hardest, and it's probably one of the ones that most people don't really love. And I'm sure it came across in a lot of ways as like a lot of pain for me because it was very painful for me. But I have like one of those in every series. And it's so funny because like I'll say like if somebody didn't like that book, it's okay. Like I have books where I'm like, that's a free pass. I'm like, it's okay. You didn't have to like it. Like I get it. I get it. Like it's there are books that either were really controversial in that kind of like storytelling, or they were books that just were really hard for them to read, or they deal with tough top. Like so I have books in every series that I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to like that one.
Yeah, this one's for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love that. And you are notorious for heartbreak and ripping
Yeah.
our hearts out and putting us back together. Has it always been that way for you? What's the plotting process like?
I don't
When you're
plot.
prepping to break our hearts, you just do it. You just break
It
our
just
hearts.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like I don't know if you've like talked to a lot of authors that'll talk about like their Clifton Strengths test. But most authors we speak in this language of like what's our top five? And so in my top five is empathy. Empathy is number five for me. And empathy means that like I lead with emotion. And I think that's why I write very high dialogue. I write very high emotional impact, and my characters are very driven by what they feel, and right or wrong, right? Like there are many times they make really dumbass decisions, but I feel like that's us in reality, right? Like how many times do I make an emotional decision because I get angry or I get sad or I get frustrated or whatever? So I tend to like let my characters just do what they want and then we talk about it later. That's that kind of feeling. So yeah, I like to feel. Or maybe I shouldn't even say I like to feel. I just feel. I feel a lot. I feel a lot of things all the time. So it comes into my writing. I will say like I feel like since 2023, when did the Whitlocks come out? 2022? 2022, 2023. I don't know. 2023. I think it's 23. I've been on a let's not be so damn sad trend. Like I don't really feel like Ember Falls or the Whitlocks are very emotional.
No, there's some angst,
Yeah,
but not,
yeah,
yeah,
but
not
not like
tear your heart
babies
out.
dying and terrible
Right.
things. Terrible.
Right.
Because I used to honestly, like, I would sit down and I'd be like, all right, well, here's where this is going to happen. And Godspeed, my characters, we're going to make this through. And that would be honestly how I'd sit down to write. And now I don't do that. I'm kind of like, what's going to be the nice thing that we do this time?
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's emotional for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's easier on you
Yes.
almost to
Yes.
not like
Yeah.
go full blown, full throttle. And I feel like there's a give and a take with that. Like you, when you give that much, the like reader experiences that, but at the
Yes.
same time, you only have so much to give.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, your therapist
I,
said you're done.
yeah, no, seriously, she really did. I like talked to my therapist about it. I'm like, I'm not okay. And she's like, you have to stop writing this kind of stuff because you're immersing yourself in it. You're feeling what your characters are feeling. You're feeling what you feel. So like you almost feel it twice as hard, right? Like as the writer, I have to make sure that I'm putting it on the page. So I have to really feel it deeply and I have to experience what my character is experiencing, even if I've never experienced it. So like there's parts of me that have gone through things that I've never gone through personally. Um, but now I feel like I have. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You have experienced a lot of shift in the romance genre. I feel like there were like, things that readers expected in 2016 that they're expecting differently in 2025. Can you talk about what it's been like to navigate the shift in like the romance reader demographics?
I would say it's really difficult. Because at the end of the day, we're creating art, right? Like at the end of the day, I'm creating art. I'm creating my art. This is my own art. And I have to create it, but there's also been constraints within that creativity. So I feel like a lot of what people are seeing right now are authors that are either burning out because they're trying to make their art fit what is being requested in some ways. um, and I think that like for me, the biggest shift has been I don't feel like my stories are different than what they ever were. I feel like just how we talk about them are different than how they were. Um, like back in the day, man, we loved miscommunication. I mean, I'm not kidding. That was like the conflict for everything. Every conflict you read was miscommunication. And now everybody's like, we should be more mature in talking about things. And I'm often like, have y'all met yourselves
Have
in
you
like
been in real
myself too?
life?
Right? Like I don't know. My husband will come home and I'm pissed at him for something that he did or didn't do, and he asks me what's wrong and I'm like, "Nothing. I'm fine.
Yes.
I'm fine." And he's like, "You're not fine." I'm like, "Oh, I know I'm not fine. You know I'm not fine, but I'm not going to tell you why I'm not fine."
Yes.
Sit and stew. So I feel like miscommunication is like the cornerstone of most of how we live, right? Like in all reality, how many times like your friend will say something to you and we don't address it right away, right? Like we kind of are like, I don't know." And I mean like, look, I love the idea of emotionally mature men, but I really haven't found many. Many. I'm giving them that much. I'm not saying any, I'm saying many.
And did she
And I'm not saying
lie?
that they don't that they're not that they don't exist. I mean, unicorns might exist, but I think that miscommunication is a trope that is really hated on, but honestly, I think most of the time that it's hated on, it's because we see ourselves doing it
Mm-hmm.
and we don't like
It's
it.
it's therapy on today's podcast, really.
I know, you're welcome. Brought to you today by
And that was
Agent
free
Corinne.
from Corinne Michaels. Yeah, that was free. She'll bill
My
you.
therapist is probably going to watch this and be like, let's talk about that podcast
Yeah.
you did.
Let's try this again. That's
You're like,
amazing.
next time that he says what's wrong, what are we going to say?
He's like, let's listen, let's play it back. It's like
Play it
those
back.
commercials where it's like the playback, like they throw the the red flag. It's like playback. That's
Mhm.
amazing. Okay, so I feel like the world has become very tropified in social
Yes.
media day and age. What is it like to navigate writing in a tropey world?
Again, no different. Yeah, I mean, like, I just am more aware of when I'm marketing what I'm going to talk about. I actually don't hate these tropes. I will say, I don't hate tropes. I love tropes. I think that tropes are, first of all, there's only like 33 tropes in the romance genre. So like, yeah, we do write to trope. Like in general, like all of us. If you look at my old books, I have Second Chance from 2015, and they are second chance childhood lovers. Um, Traumatic pasts. Like if I look at like Say You'll Stay, it fits in tropes too. I didn't write as tropey. Like I feel like I didn't. knowingly write a trope, but I wrote tropes anyway. We all do. So now it's kind of cool because we just kind of talk about it more. And now it's more like, you like this? Well, this is what it fits into. And maybe you'll like this. And if you like, I think it makes for great for you guys too. Like when you want to talk about like if you like this book because of the trope, then here are books that are just like it, or here are books that fit into those tropes. So I think I love a tropey world. The micro tropes were a little bit hard for me. I have to tell you, it took me a little bit to get onto those because I'm like, where are we making things up now, y'all? I'm like, we're just making up tropes now. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. And like literally, I'd be on the phone with my friends. I'm like, this is a trope. I'm like, I don't think this is a trope. He just has a tattoo. What is happening? And they were like, no, these are now micro tropes. And I'm like, okay, we're going with micro tropes now. So yeah, I mean, I don't to me, I don't see those as microchips. I see them as attributes, but I get whatever you guys need to call them to make it make sense. I don't care.
I was telling someone the other day, they were like, you should do a microtrope recommendation video on XYZ. And I was like, I can't remember if it happened because it's micro. Like, it's not the thing that I'm remembering, it's the microtrope. So I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Like I didn't realize guys with glasses was like a thing until I wrote Here and Now. And then it was like, holy crap. Everybody was like, he has glasses. And I was like, that's
He
a thing.
does.
Okay.
Yes, you said true.
I'm like, yeah, he's
Uh,
got glasses.
the rumors are true. Ah, I love him. I love him so much. He's just the best. He's a dream. So you mentioned burnout 2 questions ago, and as you've been writing for years and years, do you have kind of a regimen when you feel yourself burning out, a fix or anything you do to help, or you on a hope and a prayer and a dream?
No, I'm on a hope and a prayer and a dream, and I'm over here just pretending like it's not happening. I will say experienced really I experienced burnout last like year. Like I've struggled or I've been like right on the cusp of it. And that's really I think therapy really helps. I mean, I'm being honest, like my therapist really has her work cut out for her. And I'm constantly like, help me. Um but I think I'm learning, I think I'm slowing down. Like I've slowed down since selling my print rights. And that has actually been like a godsend for me. To have this period where I can take a breath and I'm not on this rat race feel of like if I don't produce and keep publishing 4 or 5 books a year, then I'm gonna be left behind. And now I'm just saying I'm doing what I can and I'm okay with that. That's the mantra we tell myself. And yeah, I mean, I think that honestly, I think the selling my print rights was the biggest gift I could have given to myself that I didn't even know I was giving myself in that sense. Like obviously it's been so amazing. Source Books has been just a dream for me with getting books in bookstores and all of the things I've gotten to do with the 2 books that I've already released. And but it's been really great because now it's forcing me to slow down a little bit.
That what a like blessing in disguise, just in so many ways.
Yeah.
And you have experienced the author experience on the independent and the traditionally published
Hmm.
side. Um, can you speak at all to like the benefits of both? I am fortunate to have lots of authors that listen to this podcast as well. So hello to all the authors.
Hello.
Can you speak to that experience, the transition, the benefits, all that good stuff?
I mean, I think that for everybody it's different, right? If you asked me after my first traditional experience, would I ever do it again? I would have probably told you no. Um, this to me was the perfect marriage. First of all, I think that Sourcebooks was my right fit. I think that that's really one of the things that I would tell authors is really make sure that you're not just chasing a deal, you're chasing the deal that makes the most sense and fits with you. You have to love your editor and your editor should love you. I think that that is really like so important in this thing. And then also your agent, should help guide you to the right thing. I had opportunities have come up in different things, not just this or not just that, and where my agent was like, I don't really know. Like, I mean, I don't really know. And so I'm very fortunate that I can have that open dialogue with her and say, like, is this the right fit for me? And she'll say, I don't really think it is. And then, or she'll say, you know what, you have to really think about this. And, here's the pros and cons, and you make your decisions. So I think that having the right team behind you is really the best thing that you can do. Surround yourself with people who have your best interests at heart, because we all want the deal, right? Like we have our goals, every single one of us. Some of it might be to see your book in a bookstore. Some of you, it might be a movie. Some of you, it might be to sell everything. Some of you, it might be, everybody has a really different view of it. So I would say that when, if I were to tell anybody, just make sure it's the deal that makes the most sense for you. Make sure that it is in your best interest and that you know what you're getting into. Like you have no, um, not no surprises, because there's always going to be surprises, but I just mean like you have a pretty good handle on what you're looking at. I think that this for me was the perfect marriage. Like I still am indie, but I'm still traditional. So like I'm kind of this like I get to kind of like have dips in two places. Yeah, yeah. So for me, this was the best possible scenario. Um, and I have a partner that I really feel comfortable with.
I love that. Zooming out a bit just from the publishing experience to
Yeah.
just author life in general, is there any one or few pieces of advice that you wish that you had or that you could give to newer authors?
I think the biggest piece of advice that I would give to any author that is just starting out is balance is not just a buzzword. It is very easy to just be nonstop book world, right? It is very, very easy for creators too. I'm sure you feel it. And I know a lot of the creators and influencers that I speak to struggle with this too. We are living in a digital world. It is so easy to get wrapped up and just drown in it. And I would say that that was my biggest mistake that I made in the beginning. I did not have a work-life balance at all. I didn't even know what the word balance was. I was just 24 hours a day writing. I have to write, I have to write, I have to do this, I have to be here, I have to do this. And you feel like there is a never-ending list of things that you need to do. That list will still be there tomorrow. It is okay. I do not work on the weekends. I refuse. My husband doesn't work on the weekends. My kids don't work on the weekends. I want to be a parent and a present partner. So I would say that that is one of the things. Now, when I get behind on my deadline, yeah, I might have to work a weekend. I mean, but for the most part, I don't work on the weekends. I also usually am done working by 5:30, 6 o'clock, the absolute latest. I'm on my phone here and there, but I put my phone down in the other room and I walk away. Like I'm not afraid to miss things anymore. And that is a really, really hard thing to teach yourself. But I would say that you can very quickly get lose yourself in it. So don't let yourself like find create boundaries and really stick to those boundaries. Obviously, things are going to shift. Like during a release week, my husband knows like you're not going to see me and I'm probably not going to shower and things are going to be really bad, but like just expect it. And he knows it. And we understand that. But then on the other times, I'm present, I'm still, eating dinner with my family and going out with my friends or, those kind of things. So I would just say like balance is not just a buzzword, like let it literally lead your life.
Yeah, that's I love that advice. I need that advice. You know that.
I
To anyone who
do
doesn't
know
know,
that.
if you're a podcast listener, you probably do know I work for Corinne. So
Paige
she gets
is,
messages from me a lot.
but I think that it's just so easy, right? Like we've just become these like and I say this to you and like like you are driven and you're hungry and I think that's amazing. I don't want to see you like womp womp
Burn. Yep. Yeah.
womp
I
womp.
My husband's like, this is a sprint, not a marathon. Like you're getting your feet under you, and this is not a forever thing. And that is the key, at least for me in this moment, is
Yeah.
like, okay, I need to push right now because I just started my business and what have
Yeah.
you. But I know it's not forever. We also don't have kids. I say that a lot on the podcast when people ask me questions about how I'm like working so much. We don't have kids, and so our
Yeah.
family looks different. And I think that that's a big key that I try to remind people. But anyway, enough about me. That's not why people are here. People don't need to hear more about Paige.
I'm pretty
They
sure
get
that
like,
you're exactly why people are here right now, my friend.
well, we're they clicked on the Corinne Michaels episode, so we gotta. I'll get back to you. So can we chat Ember Falls? I think
Yeah.
it's time.
Yeah.
I am absolutely freaking obsessed with this series. It is small town romance perfection. What was your inspo behind Ember Falls? How did the idea come to you specifically? I'm obsessed with the disc jocks and the
Yeah.
um, the ultimate frisbee team. So talk to us about the origin story of Ember Falls.
So that's really where it started, was the disc jocks. I saw very clearly this group of four guys who just wanted to play the most ridiculous sport that I could think of. And I will say, this is like me low-key trolling my kid. I don't know if you've like ever seen my Instagram, but my son is like a ball buster, and so am I. So he, for Mother's Day and my birthday every year, finds the absolute worst photos he can find of me from like my childhood, from me after I gave birth to him, one after I had a surgery. I mean, like he just finds the worst photos he can and posts them on his Instagram. And he's like, "Happy birthday, mom. I hope you have a great day, better than the one you had on this day," or like some like terrible thing. So on his birthday this year, I did the same thing. I found really bad photos that I could find of him and I posted them, and I was like, "I have more followers than you." Mm. But like so we're kind of like that kind of a family. So anyway, he plays ultimate frisbee in college and I just make fun of him constantly for it. Like I'm like, "You're like the guys that couldn't get on the football team, so you made your own team." Got it. And like he's like, "Shut up, it's a real thing," and I like bust on him. So this was me like trying to make ultimate frisbee cool in my own way. But the disc jocks were really, really clear to me. They were this group of guys that played, they all played professional sport of some kind. Like they were like number one draft picks. They were really, really like very like high achieving athletes in college. And now they play ultimate frisbee. So it was kind of like my way of doing that. And yeah, so that was how Ember Falls kind of created. And then I was like, okay, where do I want to set this town? And I'm like, I want to do it in Virginia because I live here. So, like, I love the Shenandoah mountain range and that area. So that's why Ember Falls is set in that kind of like westerny, mountainy towns area in Virginia. And yeah, I kind of, that was how Lachlan came to be a character. And I knew that I really wanted All Too Well to be a brother's best friend. And I wanted a spunky heroine. And that was kind of how, literally, like that was all I knew. And then I went in and they all became who they've become. So now it's really fun by book three, book four, you're kind of like, this panned out. Okay.
Yes. I told you I had to pull my car over listening to Here and Now, because it was the scene where they were one of the scenes where they were at practice and Here and Now. And first of all, the writing phenomenal and the narration was just so funny. I had to pull into a gas station. I had tears running down my face. Like, they're just so funny. They take it so seriously.
I know, they're really funny. And not only, but their friendship, the four guys' friendship is based on my husband and his three best friends. So they low key bully each other so much. It's insane. Like the things they say to each other. Like there was a conversation in Here and Now. I think it was like a text thread where they were talking about like Miles being missing, and they're like, "Well, I get his truck," and the other one was like, "Well, who cares about that?" Like that's what they're like. Like my husband's best friend was in one of the hurricanes and we didn't hear from him for a couple days, and they were divvying up his stuff. Like I was like, "What is wrong with you guys?" I'm like, "He's missing." They're like, "He's not missing, he's fine." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So yeah, like this is the way they talk. So very much like the quad of those guys, and the way that they talk to each other is very, very much like my life. So yeah, I think that that's why each one is so like very singular to me. Each guy is very different. Each guy has very different um parts about him that I don't think I realized until I got into their story individually, which was really fun.
Yes, and they're all of your characters in this series are like so complex and three dimensional, and I'm just obsessed with all of them. You do have this like entire little universe kind of zooming back out though of like just Corinne Michaels' universe, and there are
Yeah.
so many fun crossovers. You don't plan those necessarily? You're
No.
just like, oh, they're siblings or
Yeah, I'm
like
like,
what have
oh,
you?
this would
Yeah.
work. A lot of times it's like, oh, I am writing this and I need a cop. I'm like, oh, I have one of those. Let me borrow one from over here. Like, oh, this one's riding horses. Well, I have a horse rancher. Let me grab him. And so it's kind of like funny in the way that it works. Whereas a lot of times I mean, I will tell you, my Salvation series gets the most workout out of anybody in my universe because I'm telling you, there's something I need from every one of those. So I'm always pulling them. Um, and I'm trying to stop doing it because I think that there's a lot of readers who feel overwhelmed by it. And I don't want anyone to ever feel overwhelmed by it. I just think that like in life, the 6 degrees of separation is like a theory that a lot of people live by. And so I kind of live by it in my books. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
everyone knows everyone. Small
everyone knows
world.
everybody. Right. It's Corinne's world. And then I borrow Melanie's. Like I'm like, hey, Harlow, you got one of those? Let me borrow them.
Can
And
I
she
borrow
does the
that?
same with me. So we
Yes.
have fun
I
doing
love
that too.
that. I asked you this where if you're listening on release day of this podcast, it's also release day of Against All Odds, the third book in the Ember Falls series. And our FMC Violet has a very spunky, incredible best friend
She
named
does.
Annalie. And I've gotten like numerous text messages asking what her book is, and I'm gonna let you break the news.
She does not have a book. Annalie is just amazing. She's just that. She's Marianne out of the combo of Marianne and Wanda in Earl Had to Die. I'm telling you, like that is what she is to me. She's just your great best friend. She does not have a book. She's happily married. I mean, we find that out very, very early. She will stay happily married. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but Annalie won't have a book. She's just that great, great character.
She's incredible. I got so many texts being like, "Where's her and her husband's book?" I'm like, "Oh, sad news." I
Yeah.
asked you, and you're like,
Yeah.
"No." Well, then I was like, "Is it Melanie? Like, is it someone else's
I
universe?"
know.
No,
I know. No, Annalie, man. She was just so fun for me.
she's incredible.
She really is.
So, speaking then of Everett's best friend Hazel, I'm sure many, many people thought that it was going to be a best friends to lovers situation in Ember Falls, and it was not. And it happened exactly as it should. Was there ever a moment where it was going to be best friends to lovers, or it's
No.
always Everett and Violet?
Yeah, I don't think that I ever saw Hazel with Everett. I think she'd kill him. And so I don't think that I ever had that as like oh, we should do this. Somebody else thought it was gonna be Hazel and Killian, and I was like, no.
Oh
Yeah, I
no,
was like, no. No, Hazel's just Hazel. In my mind, Hazel has an HEA with somebody else, and I'm completely fine with that. Like Hazel's my girl, but yeah, no, no, I didn't think that she would ever really end up with Everett. I will say that. Like Everett, I felt like Everett needed to have a come to Jesus moment with his past, and that was why Everett needed to be a second chance.
he's so good.
He
And
really is.
he never got over her, and it's so beautiful. So,
Mm-mm.
if you are unfamiliar, Against All Odds is out today, and it is a second chance childhood friends to lovers. Accidental pregnancy, but it's
Not
not
his
his
baby.
baby. And it's the best not his baby book I've read. I
Really?
just,
Oh, thank you.
uh, the way he immediately is like, and, okay, like, it's not mine, but it's half you. So,
Hmm.
like, that's enough for me. Um, you wrote Everett as being adopted. And so, was that intentional, like, just with the not his baby trope? Let's just talk about Everett.
Yeah, I knew that Everett was adopted when I first plotted, or like in Here and Now. Like we knew he was adopted there. And I just thought, my gosh, like how beautiful of a full circle thing for him. If first of all, he knows what it's like to be somebody else's biological child, right? Like he can understand probably better than anybody what it's like to be raised by parents that aren't your biological parents, and what that love can look like, and what that family can look like, and what it could all mean, right? And Everett's mom and dad loved him in a way that was everything that I know. I have friends that have adopted children, and their children are their children. Like that is that there is no adoptive children, it is their children. And so Everett's parents were the same, right? So I think for Everett, like he knows better than anybody that loving another child that is a child that is not your blood doesn't mean that they're not your child. So I can't imagine a better hero to have been faced with what he was faced with. And add on the layer of Everett knows what it felt like to lose Violet. He knows what that feels like to have loved something and had to have let it go and lost it when because it was just the right person with the wrong time. And so I think that for Everett's character especially, like it was the setup that made the best sense for his character. He knows what it's like to be adopted and to be loved and raised like a child that of your own. And he also knows what it feels like to lose something that you loved more than anything in the world.
Yep.
You know,
And
like
he's just the perfect like duality of a man. Of he's so funny and he's just kind of he is like kind of a bachelor personality, but it's so much more than that. And he's
yeah,
so much like his acts of service, like he is the definition of
yeah,
acts of service.
yeah.
Like
No,
he
he
just
really is.
is.
He
And
is.
I'm just obsessed with them. And then Violet, I think, is obviously his perfect match just in a character. And the story
Yeah,
starts off with her being very publicly, her
yeah.
husband's very publicly unfaithful to
Humiliatedly.
her. Yes.
Yeah.
And that is the catalyst of her returning to Ember Falls.
Yep.
What was your journey like with Violet, writing her?
Violet was super complex, right? Because here's this girl who walked away from Everett. So she thought she found the right guy, right? Like they were young. They split up for various reasons. And she went to college and she met this guy and she thought he was great. And they had a great marriage for a period of time until it wasn't. And, I think that Violet reminds me a lot of many women who are just trying to make it, right? They're just trying to make it work. They don't want to see their life implode. They don't want to see their marriage implode. So they're doing the best they can. And I think for me, Violet also comes from a complex childhood, and her parents are very difficult on her and to her. So yeah, so Violet was, and I will say, like, I felt like Violet just kept getting kicked. And that was very hard for me as an author to just keep writing this heroine that just can't catch her breath. Like, every time she thinks that this is behind her, something else hits her in the face. And every time she moves on and she's preparing for her life to go, something else knocks her down. And that was really hard for me, I will say, because I just felt like, God, give this girl a break.
Yeah,
I did, but at the
you're
same
writing it.
time, I'm like, life's not happening for you, Violet. We're just gonna keep going through the shit. But Everett was there, right? Like I also knew she could handle it because she was going to be okay. She had the support that she needed. And I think that that's like the beauty of romance, right? Like the beauty of it is like you've got these two flawed humans, these two flawed characters, but together their flaws help the other one get through what they need to get through. And I feel like that's when you said like Violet was his perfect, and the same for her, right? Like Everett was exactly what she needed, even if she didn't think that was the truth, right? Because like Violet's going to talk herself in and out of this relationship. Yeah.
Ugh, I just love them both. Do you have a favorite moment between them, a favorite moment in Against All Odds, or a moment that you want readers to pay attention to, where you're like, lock in?
I have quite a few favorites in this book. I love the scene when he takes her to the farm.
Yes.
I really love that scene for multiple reasons. Um, and she wants to bring home the goat. Um, I think that one of the scenes that I would say like to pay attention is one with his mom. I think that that's like a really poignant scene for Everett in that moment.
I cried. His
Oh,
relationship with his mom was so beautiful, like
yeah.
unbelievably beautiful. She has, sustained what they assume to be a brain injury following a car accident that resulted in the loss of his father. And Everett takes care of his mother. Like, he is
Hmm.
her caregiver.
Yep.
And that softens his character in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that that was very emotional to write.
Yeah. I mean, I also thought like Everett in this whole series has been like the funny asshole, right? Like he's kind of been like this like sarcastic, and he still is. He's still sarcastic and ridiculous, but like he really is just kind of like the clown in the group. And I just thought like how much that man is hiding behind his humor, as a way to just get through his everyday life. And I feel like Everett really is like a kaleidoscope. And when you start to turn it, you start to see all these different pieces of him fitting together to create this one picture. And I really think that's how I approached Everett, was kind of like, okay, here's this one piece. And if you look at just one piece, he's just like this. But when you start to like move the piece, then the piece shifts and changes. And I think Everett was very multi-dimensional in that way, because he really went through a lot.
He did. He did. And he could have been very just like sharp to the world, and he was
Yeah,
not. And I just felt that was so beautiful. I think his genuine kindness, like just as like being a kind person, first of all, just
yeah,
being a vet and his care for animals is like, well, someone
yeah.
loves animals. Like that's, but
Like a green flag right there.
yes, but he chooses to be kind, like when it would just be easy to like be a lot of other things, which is something I love most about him.
Hmm.
I'm thinking of like particularly the scene where they slow dance in the bar.
Yeah,
And she's just having the worst day, like the worst
yeah.
day. And he's like, dance with me. And at the time, there was no music. Music started playing. But
Yeah.
he's like, I don't care if I make a fool of myself. Like, I'm going to do what I can to make your day better. Do you? I don't think you mentioned if, like, did you have a song in mind? I don't think you
I don't
mentioned
think
one.
so. Yeah, I don't think I do. Yeah, I think I was just like, oh, like, I don't know. What a fun way. Like, what a fun way for a guy to just be like, I know your day's shit. We'll turn it around. Yeah.
Yep. And the mattress.
And the mattress. Yeah, he is just so sweet. Like he's just and but only really for her, right? Like that's the other thing. Like and his mom. Like the people he loves, he will go to war for. And I always feel like those are the kind of guys that I want to get behind.
And I agree. And I
Yeah,
agree.
I want a guy who will fight to the death for me, but
I just, I could not be more obsessed with them. I and really their entire just found family of the four guys and then their significant others. So speaking of them, can you chat about what's next in Ember Falls at all? I know you gotta keep it kind of tight-lipped, but
yeah. So the last book will be Come What May, and that is Killian, and you've not met. So the one thing that all of these books have in common is the heroines in the story come from out of town, right? Like all of the heroines do not live in Ember Falls. So same thing in Come What May. Come What May is Killian, and his heroine, her name is Tessa, and Tessa is a publicist in um,
we love
in
publicists.
I know. And it's funny because Tessa works for Brinley.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you
Oh
remember
my
at the
gosh.
end of Brinley's book,
Yes.
Brinley has to deal with remember, she has to have somebody go to Ember Falls to deal with the crisis. So Tessa is who goes to deal with the crisis
Yes.
in the end
Read the
of that book.
Whitlocks.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the Whitlocks, you find that out. So Killian is the client that is having a really shitty fucking day. And
Poor Killian.
but so yeah, Killian is in the
Yeah.
middle of a PR nightmare, and Tessa is coming in to quote unquote save the day. It is an age gap. Tessa is young, and
Fancy.
Killian, we all know Killian is
Yep.
43, I think.
Yeah.
Tessa is not 43.
Love.
It's a very big age gap.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's so I don't think he's 43 actually. I don't know. I have to look. But anyway, it's like a 18-year age gap. Um, and it is a one night stand that does not go as planned. And it I will tell you is forbidden. It is best friend's dad.
shut up. Shut up. I'm so excited.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
So
the first time hearing of this. I know I work for you, but just for the audience, this is the first time hearing of this.
yeah, so it's best friend's
Oh my
dad.
god. Oh my god. That's going to be so good. I already know. And it's written. It's out
It's
there.
written, it's done. I
It's
mean,
on your computer.
it is there. But yeah, yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
so
that's a lot. It's a
excited.
lot of fun.
And
Um,
can you say when that's coming?
January.
Okay. Counting
So
the
that one will
minutes.
release with Sourcebook. So it'll be
Amazing.
the ebook, the print, and the audio will all release on in January, all together. And it's up for yeah, it's up for pre-order already. So you'll be able to
Beautiful.
yeah,
Just
go
jump
see
right
that.
on it. If you are listening in July, the release of Against All Odds on the 23rd is the audiobook and the ebook.
Yep.
And then you will be able to get the paperback in stores in September.
Yep. September 30th, it will release in stores.
Yep.
So yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of your digital formats are available as we speak.
Yeah.
And you need to go read right now, really, is what I'm saying. It really is just, it's unbelievable. It's heartfelt. The majority of people that I'm seeing like early reviews from, because
Yeah.
I'm on the pulse, are just like, I read it in like 1 to 2 sittings. It was unreal. The emotions, like people just can't put it down. It's unputdownable.
Well, I'm really glad because I love, like, a lot of times I love a book and I'm like, oh, this will, this one hits and then it doesn't.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
flip side, right? Like, I'm like, this book's not going to do shit. And then it does do. So you just never know. I will say I really, really loved the conflict of not his baby. I think that that takes, like, I know surprise pregnancy is such a hot top tropic, like a hot topic trope. I don't know why it's so hated. I personally love it. But I think that like I think that this is like single dad without it being a single dad to start, right? Like the single dad becomes, or the single parent part of it happens, which, in my opinion, the best part of a single parent romance, in my view, is watching the hero or heroine fall in love with another person's baby. Like to love another person's baby is so absolutely attractive to me. In my mind, like that's what we love as readers. So like you're getting to see that before that baby's even there. Like how much more sexy is that to watch a man love a woman and that baby before that baby is even born. And he's just like, I don't care. Like, I just think it's so hot. I just think it's so hot. So, yeah, I'm here for it.
You think correct. Oh my god, it's so good. This will be my last like actual like question, but it did. I have it on my list and I just didn't mention it. Do you have a favorite trope, least favorite trope, either to read or write?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love Second Chance. I
it's
love
so good.
Second Chance. It's my
It's the
favorite
best.
trope to write. I love I know that like so many don't love Second Chance. I like the tropes that I like apparently are not everybody's favorite, so I don't know. But I love Second Chance. I love Friends to Lovers. I don't know why
It's the
everybody
best.
hates it.
It's elite.
Um
It's the best
I've
one.
I really like Enemies to Lovers too. So like I don't have an issue with that either, but yeah,
And you have so
there's
many good enemies to lovers. Anyway,
yeah. I love Enemies to Lovers. That's what I'm reading now.
like tempting
But
promises.
Well, that one was so fun. Let me just tell you. That was like my one of my favorite books that I've written because it was so fun. Maybe that would be one of the easiest ones I've ever written. Just because it's just like it was so it was just so like the characters were just so real to me.
They
But
were
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, Friends to Lovers. I'm a Friends to Lovers girl though, and I have been,
Yeah,
and I
I don't
will
know why
be.
everybody hates it. I'm like, y'all, like again, but I think it comes to like everybody's like, yeah, but if you were friends, if you were such good friends, why wouldn't you tell them? And I'm like,
There are
I
a lot of
mean,
reasons.
do you want to wreck your friendship? I mean, like a lot of people don't want to ruin the friendship that they have.
Yeah,
Or somebody's with somebody else when you're in love with them. I mean,
true.
like there's a lot of reasons why I think friends to lovers can't really be together.
I agree. Is there any you'll never write or don't like?
I hate love triangles. I'm just not good at
My
it
least favorite.
either. Yeah, like I just suck at it. I know which guy should win and I just write him to be the winner. Like I'm just like I don't know how you guys make these guys both likable. I don't like either of them. So I won't write that. I don't know that there's a trope. I mean, I won't write dark romance. But that's just
You're a
because
small town girl,
yeah, I'm more small town girly and
and you write plenty of angst.
yeah, and I'll write some suspense stuff, but not necessarily like dark like dark. I think there are so many authors that do it so much better than I ever would, so I just let them do. Like I'm not going to dabble over there.
Speaking of Corinne suspense, you need to read Rose Canyon. Everyone listening, required reading. Please listen to me
She's like,
and do it.
I do love that series. That was my palate cleanser series.
It's just so freaking good. And if you do, I have video vlog of me reading it that I made for Corinne and Torianne, and you
Yes.
should. If you read it and send me your Goodreads marked as complete, I will send you that vlog, exclusive VIP vlog.
But if you do it, you get like there you go. You could put that on like your
Yeah,
subscription, like subscribe to page and you can get
exactly.
like video vlogs of her reading certain things.
Exactly. But
I'd
it's
do it.
exclusive Corinne Michaels reactions only.
I will tell
Because I
you, it's worth
am
it.
going through your backlist. Like,
Yeah.
we're going through the backlist this year,
Yeah.
through the end of the year. So, if any creators are listening, Corinne's content team currently is open, and you
Ah,
too could be a cohort, and you could get emails from me. So this is
yes.
your call to please sign up and be a cohort because it's the best.
We are a
Um,
lot of fun.
we're the most fun, in my opinion, but I am very
I was
biased.
gonna say we're really, really pushing on that one there, but yeah, no, we're a lot of fun. We're good. I will say I think most people in the group like genuinely love being there. Like
Yes.
we have a good time.
Yep. There's no like requirements necessarily other than to read Corinne's books. So it's
Yeah,
like you're already doing that. I know you're
yeah,
already doing that. So
yeah, we have a
anyway,
lot of fun.
join the team. If you go
Just
on
like
Instagram to
shameless
at
plug.
Corinne Michaels cohorts, you can apply. And I
Gosh,
would
look at
love to
this
see it. Yeah,
shameless
shameless
plugging
plug.
over here. Shameless plug.
Why not? Like, why not? We're here all together and they've made it this far in the podcast episode. So it sounds like they want to be a cohort. Um, if I haven't been abundantly clear, that's my job with Corinne.
She does. She
But I
runs
love
my
it.
content team. She's the
Yep.
best.
But I have the most fun ever. Like, the team's incredible, truly, if y'all are listening. Like, y'all have blown me away this release cycle. The
Yeah.
edits are stunning, the teasers, just all of it. So, thank you all for being here.
I know the talent, I will say, like the talent of the current influencer is absolutely mind-blowing. Like I've been around a long time and this has just been like one of the coolest periods of time in terms of like creativity and talent in terms of like making edits and like doing these things. Like I look at like something that, I would have done back in the day and I'm like, that's pitiful compared to what these girls are making. I mean, you guys just absolutely blow me away. I mean, seriously, it's insane.
The
Yeah.
humor with the reels and the TikToks, like, really, everyone, like,
Yes.
this
Yes.
release has just been.
Yeah, it's been so fun to watch, and I'm so incredibly appreciative to everybody, and especially like even if you're not an influencer and you're just listening, like thank you for all of the support, and I hope that like I can continue to earn your trust and like maintain your trust that I'm going to deliver on stories that you want to read.
Yeah. Well, that is always my final question is you have a captive audience of Corinne Michaels fans, and is there anything you want to say to them? That's always my final.
Love you guys. I just love you. Thank you for being on this journey with me for over 10 years. I am like every day I'm truly truly humbled and blessed to know that I'm still able to do what I love to do and um and that I have like the best readers that just show up and they're there and I'm internally grateful and I will forever like I don't know. I just will forever be grateful for everyone that comes out, that talks about my books, that tells their friends about my books, that comes to events, that shows up. It's such a blessing, and I'm so grateful. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Thank you as always for attending book club, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.